And welcome back to Daily Red Devil for all of your latest Manchester United transfer news and talk. Before we get into today's video, please do me a small favour. If you are watching the show for the first time today, make sure to subscribe, bottom right hand corner, and be sure to give the video a like. On today's show, we're going to be talking about Donnarumma. We're going to be talking about Sesko. We're going to be talking about Garnacho to Chelsea. What else have we got to talk about? We've got loads to talk about, so should be a really good one. I want to first off by asking you a little bit of a question about Donnarumma, though. Is Donnarumma the right profile to be bringing into Manchester United? I mean, this probably is a stupid question, but I want to get your thoughts. Is there another goalkeeper out there who we should be looking at? There is a lot of noise around Donnarumma and Manchester United at the moment. I'll bring you all of the latest on that in a minute. But do we think that Donnarumma is the man to come in to replace Andre Onana? I'm going to say this from the off. I think out of all of the goalkeepers who are available, he's definitely the best option. 100%. There's no doubt in my mind. 26 years of age. I just can't believe he's still only 26 as well. He's still very, very young. The reason why there's this story, okay, is... I mean, it's very simple, really. His contract's about to expire at PSG. He's got less than 12 months left. And apparently he's been unable to sign a new deal with them. And they've just bought a new goalkeeper. His name's Chevalier. I think he plays in the French league as well. So they've just brought in a new goalkeeper, PSG. And Donnarumma's not been able to sign a new contract. So it's quite simple why he wants to leave. But the news this morning coming out from a couple of different journalists here. This is the headline. It says, Gianluca Donnarumma is interested in a move to Manchester United. The reason for this is he is attracted by the club's stature, i.e. our history, our past, our, the success of the past, the name Manchester United. It still does hold weight. Whether rival fans like to admit it or not, the name Manchester United does still hold weight. Even if we are poor, even if we did finish 15th, even if we lost the Europa League final to Tottenham, as a club, we are still a big name. And we all know that. We're a huge club across the world. One of the biggest, if not the biggest. So he apparently is interested in coming and would, in theory, say yes to Manchester United if we could agree a deal with PSG. Do I think this deal will happen? I don't know. It's difficult. I think if we were a competent football club, we would be looking to buy a goalkeeper, a midfielder and a striker before the end of the window. Because that's the bare minimum. I think without those three players in those three key positions, I think we're probably going to have more of the same of what we had last season. The midfield is still incomplete. The goalkeeper, I mean, we haven't even seen Onana yet. He's injured, so God knows how bad he's going to be when he does come back. And obviously we don't have a striker. Højlund just hasn't worked. So if we were a competent football club, we have, 3 weeks left of the window. Our Premier League season starts a week on Sunday. We would be signing a goalkeeper, we would be signing a midfielder, and we would be signing a striker. That's the bare minimum. Arsenal finished second, and they signed like 5 players in 5 key positions. They signed Zubimendi, he would get in our team. They signed Madueke, he would probably get in our team. They signed Gyökeres, he would get in our team. Every single one of Arsenal's signings would get in our team. And they finished second. They got to a Champions League semi-final, I believe. We finished 15th and lost the final to Europa to Tottenham. So there are levels to this, aren't they? So if we were competent, we would literally now be going out and getting Donnarumma. There's an opportunity here for him. It's been widely reported that Manchester United want to sign Donnarumma. Why are we not doing it? I think he'll end up going to like Turkey or something, realistically. I think he'll end up going to Turkey, possibly to Saudi. Got a sneeze coming. Whoa. Yeah, I reckon he'll probably end up... Oh, there's another one. Yeah, as much as I would love to see Donnarumma at Manchester United, I just think the likelihood of it happening is probably quite small. I just don't think we have the ambition to do that. Ineos won't want to pay his 250 grand a week wages. Ineos won't want to, fork out another 40 million on a player. And we'll be stuck left with Onana, which is a very sad thought, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to say, really. It's just how it is, isn't it? Unfortunately, Andre Onana. Another season with Andre Onana. Great. I mean, even Altay Bayindir yesterday in the Everton game, he's still not very good, is he, either? There was this obsession in the fan base of people saying, oh, Altay Bayindir, give him a chance. He's much better than people make out. Like, please give him a chance, give him a chance. Let's be real, he's not of the level. He's not at the level of what we need. I'm sorry. Maybe as a backup goalkeeper, maybe. But, yeah. So, yeah, that's the latest on Donnarumma. Apparently, he wants to come to Manchester United. Apparently, he's interested because of our name, because of our stature, because of our history, because of the weight the name Manchester United has. Obviously, he doesn't want to... He's not... he didn't watch last season and think, oh, I'm really impressed that they finished 15th. I would love to go there. He wants to come because we're Manchester United. That whole thing. But hopefully we can get this one done. Hopefully we can get ourselves into gear, because, like I said, the season starts a week on Sunday. We have no striker. Our midfield is completely incomplete. Yesterday against Everton was completely evident of that as well. The midfield was, again, a massive problem. For whatever reason, Sesko Kone's not played. I don't know why. There's just a lot of questions still. And I'm not going to start panicking. When we beat Bournemouth in the pre-season game, I wasn't sat there saying we're going to win the league. I still thought there was a lot of problems. And I think we can rectify those problems, or we can at least attempt to rectify those problems by bringing in a goalkeeper, by bringing in a midfielder, and by bringing in a striker. We've spent about 100 million so far. We probably need to chuck another, I would say, 150 million at players before the end of the window. So that'll be 250 million total spend. But then when you think we'll get about 30 for Anthony, we'll probably get 20 for Sancho, probably get 40 for Garnacho. That's 90 already. There's somebody else I've forgotten, isn't there? Rashford's obviously gone. That's 250 grand off the wage bill. So if you think those three players alone, the Antonys, the Sanchos, and the Garnachos, should generate us around 80 to 100 million, right? And you've got rid of Rashford, and you've got rid of Rashford's wages, and you've got rid of Johnny Evans, you've got rid of Lindelof, and you've got rid of Eriksen. They were on about 400 grand a week combined. That's 20, 30 million pounds a year in wages saved there. Rashford, 20 million pounds a year saved in wages there. There's 50 million pounds worth of wages saved from Johnny Evans, Eriksen, Lindelof, and Rashford leaving. 50 million a year. It's a vast amount of money. And then when you add in Anthony, he's on about 150. Sancho's on about 250. And I think Garnacho's only on about 100. So that's another 500 grand a week, which is what, 25, 30 million. So across all of the players who should be leaving this summer, it will be about 80 to 100 million pounds worth of wages saved. And you'll be getting transfer fee for Anthony around 30, transfer fee for Garnacho around 40, and the transfer fee for Sancho around 20. That's 90 million pounds worth of transfer fees there. At plus just under 100 million pounds worth of wages saved. So when you break it down like that, that's 190 million pounds that we'll be better off for. And when you think that we've only at the moment bought Mbeumo and Cunha, which is about 110, there is definitely still money there to be spent, and we definitely need to strengthen the squad, even just from a numbers perspective. I know we're not going to be playing in Europe next season, but when you think that Lindelof, Rashford, Garnacho, Anthony, Sancho, Eriksen, Johnny Evans, and I think a couple of others have left, or aren't playing, that's about 10 players that have gone, and we've only brought through Cunha and Mbeumo. So we're 10 players down, and we've brought in 2. So purely just on a numbers basis, we need to bring in more numbers. We need to bring in another midfielder. We lost Eriksen. Bring in another midfielder. That's essential. We need to bring in another striker, because the whole of last year we only had one striker. And we need to bring in another goalkeeper, because both of our goalkeepers aren't good enough. Bayindir's not good enough, and Onana's not good enough. And 2, one of them's injured as well. So yeah. Right, let's move on from there though. Let's talk a little bit about Benjamin Sesko, shall we? So Benjamin Sesko, it's a bit of a strange one, this Sesko one. Obviously, we know that Newcastle's bid was rejected. A lot of the stories are suggesting that the bid was rejected because he doesn't want to go to Newcastle, and that a deal would only be accepted for a team that he would call special. I don't really know what all this means. Are we a special team? I would say we're a special team, but is special Manchester United or is special Real Madrid? I don't know. Is the honest answer. I don't know what what category it falls into. But the bid was rejected. I can't see Manchester United going higher than what Newcastle offered. They offered 80 million euros, including add-ons, which is a vast amount of money. I can't see Manchester United doing that. You know, if we were unable to get Gyökeres, who was cheaper, I don't really see how we'd pay 80 million for Sesko. But hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully this week something happens, because if we don't get Sesko, where do we go to then? I mean, there's some stories this morning suggesting that we might go for Kolo Muani. I'm not convinced by that. There are other stories this morning suggesting that we might look at Gonzalo Ramos at PSG. Again, I'm not particularly convinced about that either. So, yeah, we need to get ourselves into gear. We need to get this over the line, and we need to bring in a big name striker, realistically. Otherwise, it's going to be a problem, I think. So, yeah, we'll see how it all goes. But at the moment, it's looking a little bit all over the place, as it does always. So, yeah, hopefully something happens in the next kind of few days and weeks. So, yeah, that's all we can hope for. Right. Moving on from there, let's talk a little bit about Garnacho. So, obviously, I assume everybody's seen that Garnacho liked to post on social media linking him to Chelsea. I mean, it's just another example of why some young footballers should not be allowed to use their phones. I mean, how stupid can you be? First of all, you call out the manager after the Europa League final. Fine, he was angry, whatever. You can maybe push that to a side. Still, not okay, right? That happens. A couple of weeks later, he puts up a post of himself on holiday in an Aston Villa shirt with Rashford's name on the back. You already know why that's a problem. Rashford had to leave Manchester United because he wasn't working hard enough. He fell out with the manager. What does he think's a good idea? Oh yeah, let's just stick up a picture of me in a Rashford shirt. Okay, that's stupid. And then after that, he's now liking posts on social media with him. Sorry, posts linking him to Chelsea. He obviously wants this move to Chelsea, doesn't he? It's just not the right way to go about things. He's not training at the moment with the team. Obviously, he didn't go on the preseason tour. He's been effectively banished from the group. Yeah, it's not particularly great, is it? But it's not surprising at the same time, knowing how some of these players are. But yeah, hopefully we can get this sorted. Hopefully, like, something positive can actually come out of this. Whether or not it will, I don't know. But yeah, hopefully something positive can come out of this, because at the moment it is just a little bit frustrating, to say the least. But yeah, it's not surprising at the same time. Right, I am going to wrap the video up here, guys. I've gone through everything that I had planned for this episode. I want to thank everybody who's watched the stream today. I really, really appreciate you. Please do make sure to drop a like, leave a comment, subscribe before you go. I hope everyone has an amazing Monday, whatever you're doing. I'll be back tomorrow, and we'll speak then. Have a great day, everybody. Speak to you all later. Bye for now.